Come on, BTC.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today it is the 2nd of August 2024. We've had a bit of a bumpy 24 hours again, but if you look on the screen, we are actually up over 0.5%. Today we are up 0.08%, so we're back where we started from yesterday, but you wouldn't believe what happened last night. We have a busy show. I was going to run the show from yesterday because we had internet problems or we had some kind of network issues, but we're not going to do that. I am just going to go through another set of articles with you today because there's a lot to go through. We are going to go through the flash crash that we had last night, $440 million of refunds, that isn't a spelling mistake, XRP and real world assets, that could be exciting. Kujira has collapsed, CVG hacked, Quantum UK, and then the CMC check at the end. That's what we're going to go through today. It is Friday. And as a special treat, why not smash the like button and why not give us a follow? We're at 151,827 followers. Only 48,173 to go for the 200,000. Now, it's a special day today. Kishan is one of the very first OGs, and it's Kishan's son's birthday today. So I know Hidden Agenda's already, I think, typed happy birthday. If you could just all wish Kishan a happy birthday or Kishan's son a happy birthday, that would be greatly appreciated. He is an OG. He shows up when it is 38,000, 28,000, 18,000 on Bitcoin. He is always here showing his support for the channel, and we do not take that for granted. So happy birthday, Kishan's son. So what we're going to go through today, of course, before we start with the news, we're going to go through the charts and then we're going to get on with the X-Files. So I am going to cut to the chase and let's have a look at the markets. 64.5, up just a touch over the last 24 hours, but we all know that's not what's happened. We all know we came crashing down and we've come back up. So we're going to have a look at the Bitcoin chart in a bit. Ethereum's coming in at 31.5. BNB coming in, just above 570. And Solana, even with all the FUD going on around Solana is still coming in at $161. A few good mornings. Solo Sky is in chat. Mags is here. Eugene is here. 5 o'clock in the morning, and Eugene is here. He deserves a double good morning. Bullish Bull is here. Hidden is here. Kishan is obviously here as well. So good morning to you all. Let's see who has gained and who has lost. Arve is up 8.8. Popcat is up. Helium Mantra has bounced off the bottom, I believe. IOS is up. Monero, Flare. A few gainers. Arweave is down. Audi, Beam, Conflux, C, Pive. Bohm is down. Ondo at 87 cents. Ondo is an absolute steal at that price. If you do not hold any Ondo, please go and have a look at the project. It's going to be one of the biggest RWA projects in crypto. I am not sponsored by them, but we do have some news on sponsorship. We are going to be sponsored for the month of August by a very big project. So I will get to that on Monday when we go live with it. So a few gainers and a few losers, nothing really to write home about. Market cap is down 1% over the last 24 hours, 2.28 trillion. Volume is up just a touch at 83 billion. Bitcoin dominance and ETH dominance has actually not changed again. It's still 71.1% again. I don't think that has moved in absolute months. Let's start off then with the X-Files. Remember, if you've got any questions, ask them in chat. The CMC check at the bottom there, that's going to be where we look at a particular market on CoinMarketCap. And we started doing it a few weeks ago, didn't we? We started looking at meme coins, real world assets, AI. So if you've got anything that you want to look at, let me know in chat. This is probably the reason that we bounced back up. MicroStrategy bought again. Although their recent purchase was only 169 Bitcoin, there seems to be no end in sight as they announced plans to buy an additional $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now remember, at the start of this week, what happened? We saw our good friends in the US Marshals, they moved $2 billion worth of Bitcoin and they moved it to an exchange for safe custody. Nobody bothered reading that they were doing that and the price tanked. Now, we know that. When Michael Saylor announces he's buying $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, why haven't we absolutely flown to the upside? Exactly. Good day, Peter and friends. Trump supporters, yes. Let's see. So Saylor's buying $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. We should all be happy about that. Dan Crypto has come out and started talking about the different ranges we could be falling into. They're kind of similar to the ranges that I've been talking about over the last few days. That is the kind of the bull market support band is at about 65.5 and 70,000. That's the range I think that we've been stuck at for a while. But this was, of course, before the Michael Saylor news, so he was talking about going down below 60,000. I'll show you where he's talking about in a little minute when we get there. Trump 2024. I think he's pretty much won, hasn't he, Eugene? I think it's pretty much all over by the shouting. I mean, what was she called? Is it pan-racial or biracial? I can't remember what Kamala Harris said she was. But various people aren't listening to her. Anyway, so GMV dropped dead. I take it you mean good morning. Yes, okay. Right then, don't forget, today, yesterday, and tomorrow, you have 3 days to vote on the Jupiter platform for the burn. Now, Solo Sky, I think, asked me in chat yesterday. I haven't made a video about it. I'm not making as many videos in the summer months as normal because by the time I finish streaming at midday, it's about 31 degrees. And that's hot for me. Listen, I'm pale-skinned. I'm from the north of England. We only used to see the sun 5 days a year. So I'm not used to the heat. So when it gets to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm dying. So I haven't made as many videos. I would have made one about this. So 3 days, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, you've got to vote. My personal opinion is we should burn the tokens. We do not need 10 billion tokens. 7 billion is plenty, and I think we should burn even more, if I'm honest with you. Whenever this Bitcoin bull flag pattern breaks out, we will see the real market soon. Now, I don't like crypto rover that much, but that's just a personal opinion. I think we're in a bull flag. I raised it on the video that I made yesterday. I have made a video giving you a fairly bearish price prediction for Bitcoin. And if you follow this bull flag, I have given the target of the end of April for $110,000. That's what the bull flag plays out to. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. I'm just telling you what the chart says. We have a lot of things to go between now and then that can change that, and that's what I've put into my video. Now, I know none of you have watched the video. I can tell by the statistics none of you have watched the video. It's 8 minutes, I think, or 9 minutes. Go and watch that video. It tells you prices, dates, how it can go higher, who can affect it, and what's going to happen. It's everything about Bitcoin in 10 minutes. Canada-based investment firm Cypherpunk Hodl has purchased another 23,000 SOL, bringing its total to 86,000 SOL, worth 21.6 million. The average acquisition price is $143. Why are people starting to buy SOL? The very reason that we have been talking about why people are buying Ethereum, or were buying Ethereum. The Bitcoin ETF got approved, people bought Ethereum. The Ethereum ETF got approved, people are buying Solana. Okay? Now, there is a concerted attempt on crypto Twitter to target Solana. And again, if you're an OG, you've seen my video about this. The majority of what they have been talking about, we have known for a long time. And I'm not a Sol Maxi, by the way. I hold maybe 5% of my portfolio in Solana. The point is that it's a concerted effort by ADA Maxis to try and go after Solana. And it looks childish. And I said that on Twitter today. It's childish. Stick to promoting your own chain. Don't go bashing other people's chain. We saw this with Bitcoin and Ethereum for years. It's a waste of energy. And then they say, well, we're trying to save people's life savings. If you put your life savings into one coin, then you're not going to listen to an ADA Maxi tell you that Solana is the wrong choice. So again, it's a concerted effort to go after another blockchain. Right then, let me have a read of some of these messages. They are coming in fairly quickly. Mags has voted for the burn. Good. I had an argument with a tool on his live. I can say the word tool, by the way. He was saying that ADA will 20x and Sol was as good as it is, and he is how he's going to do XRP $20. How do we report these tools for misleading? Can we report these tools spreading sucking people in, getting hurt? How can we bring them down, or do we have to? I can't read the last bit out. I think the issue is, Peter, that everybody is going to tell you that their own bags are going to go up 20 and 50x. And my issue with that is that it's not based on reality. So when you see somebody tell you that ADA is going to 20x, that would put ADA at what, $8? And when in my video, which I made a long time ago, I think ADA will go to $3 to $5. It got to $3 in the last bull run. I think $3 to $5 at most. What have I said about XRP? I think I've said, did I say $5 to $7 or something like that? That's the most it can do. Solana, I've said maybe we touch $100. That's $1,000. That's maybe a 5 or 6x. So you have to be realistic. It's the same with people saying that Crow, for example, Crow is about 8 cents. People are saying that Crow is going to go back to $1. What's that, a 13x? It's not going to happen. You need to bring reality in. And the reality is that not everything is going to go back to all-time highs. And the reason that you should be reasonably bullish on Solana is they're going to get an ETF. Now, again, that causes short-term price fluctuations like we've seen with Bitcoin and with Ethereum. But in the long term, you need to be holding the ETFs because they have got institutional adoption, and that is what you want. If you have, I'll give you an example. Let's say Apple decide to put $1 billion into crypto. They will more than likely put 700 million into Bitcoin, probably 200 to 250 million into Ethereum, and then maybe 50 to 100 million into Solana. So that's where the money comes from. That is where the money is going to come from in the future. And why are they doing it? They're using them as stores of value, because if you hold money in dollars, they charge you for it. Okay? So be careful. Be careful listening to people giving you false promises. They are, if you are religious, you probably have in your scriptures false gods, and they promise you the world. And these false gods don't exist. And the same way that $100 XRP doesn't exist, $20 ADA doesn't exist. Also, $5,000 Solana doesn't exist. None of these things exist. But they sell you based on your greed, which is a natural human emotion. I would sell everything. Any meme coin that goes up 30 to 50%, I would sell and get out. Now then, we have some news breaking next week, and that is that we will be sponsored by Mu. There you go. Mu is a $550 million meme coin on the Solana blockchain, and we are sponsored by them for the month of August, and maybe a bit longer, who knows. Mu is a cat meme coin on Solana. I am telling you that we are sponsored by Mu, and I'm going to put Mu all over the screen next week, because I don't want you to think that we will be talking about these coins for any other reason. I'm not going to do the usual thing of hiding it. We're sponsored by Mu. There's going to be livery, there's going to be logos. So that's the breaking news. I've been keeping it to myself. But there you go. Now you know. Next, move on. Oh, and by the way, the theme of the show today is Shake It Off. That has absolutely nothing to do with anything in crypto. And the only reason you should shake it off is because it's Friday, and it is the guilty pleasure song of most people. So after this, go and have a little dance around the room. No, it can't, Peter. I don't think it can. That would give it a $10 billion market cap. And I think I think a lot of meme coins will get towards 3, 4, 5 billion. And if it gets towards 3, 4, 5 billion, then that's a 6 to 9x, I would say. It's not going to do a 20x. It's already established as a fairly big meme coin. I'll go through it at the end of the show. I'll do meme coins today because I'm going to do some blatant plugging of Mu. So Bitcoin falls to 62,000 as crypto mirrors the stocks crash. Now, there's lots of reasons why we have retraced. And again, it's a little bit like, do you remember when they used to tie concrete blocks to ladies and throw them into the river because they believed they were witches? It's a little bit like that, crypto. We don't know the specific reasons. We know that whales and moneymakers and market movers, they take advantage of FUD to move the market. So it doesn't matter if it's conflict in the Middle East. It doesn't matter if it is the US Marshals moving $2 billion of crypto. It doesn't matter if it's Michael Saylor. They will just take advantage. Governments have been doing this for years. If England won the World Cup in 2 years' time, believe you me, read the press that day, because every bit of bad news that your government in the UK wants to tell you will come out on the day that we win the World Cup. That's how they've been doing it for centuries. Now, in the UK anyway. Now, when it comes to why Bitcoin retraces to certain prices and why it pumps to certain prices, you might think that it's completely random. You might think it's Chairman Powell. Think about what happened last Saturday. Donald Trump said that we were going to have Bitcoin as a reserve currency, strategic reserve currency. Cynthia Lummis came out and said on Monday or Tuesday that we were going to see the bill introduced in America. We've seen Michael Saylor talk about buying $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. Everything's going in the right direction except the price. So when you see that, you can clearly call that out as manipulation. Maybe it's part of the cycle. Maybe the money makers are moving the market to a price they want to accumulate at. I've seen some weird and wonderful reasons why we are in these situations, and I don't know whether I believe any of them. I think it's just a combination of everything put together. Convex finance, I have looked at that one. I'll have a little look at it. I'll have a little look at that in a minute. So Bitcoin has crashed 10% to 62,000 on Thursday, and we've had a painful August. Of course we have. However, this fall has been short-lived. What are we back at today? Are we at 63.5 or 64.5? I can't keep up anymore. What price are we back at? 64.5. 64.5. So we've recovered somewhat since this article was written, as to be expected. I do believe, by the way, that the Oracle put a long in on Bitcoin at 62.9 or 62.8. The OGs in the OG Telegram group will know. I think he's longed Bitcoin at 62.8, and I think his price target to get out is what, 67.5. What tends to happen after we've had the FOMC meeting, if we say that that's the reason we've come down, is you get this kind of hangover for a couple of days, and then the markets recover. So today, tomorrow, and Sunday, we should see the markets recover. At the end of the bull run, and when we all make 10x across our portfolios, can you please sing You'll Never Walk Alone, as we're all in the same boat? Absolutely, we are all in the same boat. At the end of the day, we are all on the same ship, the same sea shanty ship, and we're all going to the same place. It's just I happen to be singing really bad songs. That's all it is. Yesterday, for example, I went to get a drink. Brogan had like 51 people watching him. I came back, there was 6. I can only imagine he started singing on the stream yesterday. So the reaction is allegedly based on the FOMC meeting. Grayscale dumped $2 billion worth of East, and of course the Middle East. So there are lots of reasons. But what happens after a sell-off is a couple of things happen. We'll go on to the charts in a minute. In fact, you know what, we'll go on to the charts now, because I want to give you one of the many reasons why we shouldn't be too bullish or too bearish right now. And remember what I said on Monday, don't feed the bears. They'll bite your hand off. Don't feed those bears. We don't want to give them any opportunity to come in and start biting our hands. Now, I made a video yesterday, and my video has I had to remove all of my patterns from the charts, so that is why this is a completely blank chart. I normally leave everything on. Now my worry is this is my worry, and that is we have been putting in lower highs. Okay, you'll also see that this, we just put that there, that is the bull market support band, the top of the bull market support band, and the bottom of the bull market support band, if we can zoom in a little bit just to show you, if we drag that down, look at where we came to. There it is. We came to the bottom of the bull market support band. So when we look at these charts, we look at these because they help. And I said yesterday that there are times where the bull market support band, you can whip below it. We went all the way down here, remember, and we started talking about this. The bull market support band is there to act as resistance. But what is a trampoline? When you jump up and down on a trampoline, it doesn't stay flat, does it? It bows. It bows a lot when I jump on it because I am not a light man. So you've got your trampoline there, okay? And then you bounce on the trampoline and it doesn't hold, does it? No, the trampoline bows in the middle because of my excessive weight. So then what happens is it boings you up, as they would say if you were 4. And these are examples where we have bounced off the bull market support band. Now, there are many people in chat telling me, the thing with the CME gaps, how far back and how far down do we want to go? Because there is a CME gap, and it's kind of down in this range. And again, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this, no, I don't know if this is going to play out. Okay, which would take us down towards 54,000. I did say that a few days ago. Or we spend the weekend recovering up. But at some point, this line has got to break. Okay, it has to break at some point. I don't know when, but it has to go. So the CME gap is coming in. I think it's about 59,000, 59 or something like that. But that's the previous CME gap, or it's the one from 3 weeks ago. Either way, the CME gap doesn't have to fill. There are still CME gaps from other prices, which we never came to. So as long as we're holding or bouncing off the bull market support band, as I said, look what it did here. It bounced, it went up. We got a very hard no at that price. We've bounced again. I'm expecting us to go in this general direction. And again, if there is more conflict over the weekend, this is the target for me down here. This is where we could come to. Let's put it down there. That's where we could come to if there is conflict. And we know there is conflict. And we know there is things likely to happen. But as long as we hold some of these lines here, as long as we hold the bull market support band, we're okay. So I'm not trying to worry you into a $54,000 Bitcoin, because that's not what I'm here for. I want us to, I need us to break this lower high. That is the most important thing now. We have got to go up here. And if we go up here, that is Taylor Swift. We need to shake it off, okay? So that for me is the target. 70,000 is where we've got to go to. And if we don't, we're just going to keep wiggling around in this area for months on end. And again, don't forget, we're running out of time. I know I say we have plenty of time, and we do. We have plenty of time if the peak of the bull run is in October or November. But if you watched my video yesterday, I have given you the end of April as a possible market top. We're in August. I know it's 8 months, but we've got to get a bit of a move on, haven't we? We've got to get a bit of a move on. I know we can move $15,000 in 2 weeks, but we need to move that $15,000 in 2 weeks. That's what we need to do. Now then, $440 million worth of Ethereum splurge stokes anticipation of an imminent rally. And again, this was from yesterday. The crypto market appears to be cooling off after a rally in July, with most assets, including ETH, shedding about half of the gains made in the rally. The price of ETH, for one, has failed to react even after the SEC's recent approval of spot ETH ETFs. We know why. Grayscale sold off. I made a video about it. Ethereum whales are making a big splash in the past 48 hours. This in class of investors with over 100,000 ETH in their wallets have accumulated over 126,000 ETH worth $440 million. Now again, the thing with ETH is very similar to Bitcoin. Bitcoin had the hangover of Grayscale, and it went on for weeks. 6 weeks, was it? I have been saying that the Ethereum hangover isn't going to last as long or go as deep. And my worst case was $2,600 and $2,900 for Ethereum. Worst case scenario. The other end, 4,200, 4,600, something like that, I think. And we are going to go there at some point when Grayscale finishes selling. So this Ethereum ETF is like a hot air balloon, okay? And it's rising, and the pressure of the hot air is bringing the Ethereum ETF up. But Grayscale is putting great big lead weights in the bottom of our basket, and we can't get rid of them fast enough to get the price up. So we're chopping on Ethereum, we're chopping, and Grayscale only has so many lead weights, and we have way more hot air, especially on this channel. We have way more hot air to get that balloon up. So at some point, it's going to start to rise. And that is why these whales are accumulating their Ethereum. Now, 126,000 sounds like a lot, but there's 120 million Ethereum. So it's 0.1%. It's not an awful lot, but that's in 48 hours. So 0.1% in 48 hours, they're expecting something to happen. And if we do break to the upside, and everybody that is predicting this breakout banana curve, then it's a good time to get Ethereum. It's a good time to get Bitcoin at $64,000. If we're going to go to $120 or even $240,000, then getting Bitcoin now is still a good move. If Ethereum is going to go towards $10, $15 or $12,000, it's a good move to get it now because it's at $3,000. So even though we're having chop, even though people are worried and scared, it's not a time to be worried and scared. If we're having this conversation in 12 months' time, or 18 months' time, and we've had the blow off top, then you need to be bailing on crypto. You need to be selling up and getting out. Following the approval of spot Ethereum ETFs, the analysts have had a bullish stance on Ethereum. In an ex-post, prominent crypto trader Poseidon suggested that the asset was likely to first retrace to 2,800 before kicking off a rally to all-time highs. Now, you know what? I mean, that's kind of in the range of where I was talking about in my video. And the reason is that there are two very strong levels of support for Ethereum down there. Just keep an eye on chat. Actually, not seen many conversations. That's good. Right, 3,100. Right, see these two lines here? This is where I think we could come for Ethereum. Again, we're looking at the monthly. Let's go on back and have a look at the daily. Again, very similar to Bitcoin. We're putting in lower highs. Now, switching to the daily, we are below the bull market support band. Look where we came at the beginning of July. A month ago, we came down to this 2,800 level. Now, remember, my video was worst case scenario, okay? I'm not here to try and scare you, but $2,800 or $2,900 in my case is a wick, okay? And then we bounce. So that it's always likely to happen. If Grayscale dumps today, then the price will be suppressed even more. But remember, this downward descent of Ethereum, forget what Bitcoin is doing. This is a lot of sell pressure from Grayscale, and it's negating the buy pressure of the likes of BlackRock. So we're going to have this chop, and maybe we wick down 28, 2900s. He's not too far away from me. And then we break back up. And his target is $5,000, which is not far off my target here, which is 4,900-ish. But we've got these targets to break first, 3,900 and then 4,200. And then we go on the way to 5,000. So we're not a million miles away. But again, as I said, like with Bitcoin, lower highs have to be broken. We've got to get out of this chop that we have been in. Been in this chop for a very long time. So Ethereum still looking good. If we dip below 3,000, amazing buying opportunity for you. Again, if you're holding Ethereum, you bought it at $3,200, $3,400, don't panic. It's still going to be there. You only lose when you sell. And when the fear and greed is down to what's the fear and greed at right now? When the fear and greed is down in its 30s and 40s. You should tell me on here. Fear and greed is 58. I can't believe that. I don't believe it's 58 at all. I'm sure it's a lot lower than that. Where is the fear and greed index? I click on the fear and greed index and it takes me to a raft of completely irrelevant charts. Anyway, fear and greed is at 58. I think that's going to be coming down if it's not already down. I don't know if that's lagging. I've seen it in its 40s. You want to be selling when the fear and greed is in its 70s, because that means the prices are going up, not when it's on its way down. Ripple has an announcement. Real world assets on XRPL. Ripple plans to establish a fund and invest $10 million to specific T-bill tokens. OpenEden is launching tokenized US Treasury bills on the XRP ledger. Users will be able to mint such products via stablecoins such as Ripple USD when it sees the light of day later this year. XRP price is down, we don't care about that. Now, Everybody is talking about real world assets. Real world assets are the next big thing. We've talked on this channel many times, and I'm going to keep reminding you, there is going to be a 24/7 stock exchange in Texas owned by BlackRock. And as soon as that sees anything like an ETA, the London Stock Exchange, the Nikkei, the American stock exchanges, they are all going to go 24/7 to compete. We are living in 2024 with 1924 stock exchanges. They roll up in their suits and their bowler hats at 8:30 in the morning, and they do their bit, and then they leave at 4 o'clock. And they do that Monday to Friday. You can listen and watch anything you want 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can do online banking probably 23 hours a day, 365 days of the year. You can book a holiday at any time, night or day, anywhere in the world at the drop of a hat. And you can call anybody at any time, night or day, 24/7. So the only thing you can't do is trade the most valuable assets in the world. You can't trade commodities. You can't trade stocks and shares. Why? Why have we managed to reinvent everything in the world apart from stocks and shares? Now, how dangerous is it going to be if BlackRock ends up having the one stock exchange in the world? Super dangerous. So we need the rest of them to play catch up. That's why BlackRock want to tokenize stocks, because once a stock is tokenized, it can be traded outside of hours. If they take Apple stocks and lock 100,000 Apple stocks away and then create 100,000 synthetic versions of it on the 24/7 blockchain that BlackRock owns, whatever they're going to call it, of course you'll be able to trade it 24/7. Well, that makes a mockery of the stock exchange. So either the law has to change, which isn't going to happen, or stock exchange have to change. Now, moving into this, XRP is looking at CBDCs. It's looking at its own stablecoin, which we've talked about before on here. We've talked about having a DeFi platform built on XRP. And now we're talking about tokenizing treasury bills. Now, treasury bills, they're big business. You make a lot of money out of them. And you holding them at the minute, you're going to make 5% on them. So they're big business. Institutions are increasingly looking at where to tokenize their real-world assets. The arrival of T-bills on the XRP-L, powered by Open Eden, reinforces the decentralized Layer 1 blockchain as one of the leading blockchains for real-world asset tokenization. I think this is a perfect fit for XRP. Again, do I hold XRP? Yes, I do. XRP is probably 0.5% of my portfolio-ish. So it's not a massive amount of my portfolio, but most of my portfolio is Bitcoin. And I've said that from day one. I think, 65% of my portfolio is Bitcoin. And XRP is going to do really well. It's not going to go to $100. Don't let anybody tell you it's going to $100. It will do well. It's currently about 60 cents. Let's go and have a quick look. What time is it? 11:36. When Mike flaps his gums, he makes sense. Do you know what? That's a lovely turn of phrase, that. A lovely turn of phrase. Goldfinch. Goldfinch is huge. So, just to kind of put this into perspective, this is the monthly chart of XRP. XRP reached $1.95 on the 1st of April, 2021. It hasn't got anywhere near that price in 4 years. And you've got some clown telling you that it's going to $100. Okay? $100 is never going to happen. I'm here to hopefully give you a realistic price target for these tokens. XRP is 57 cents. For the sake of arguments, we're going to call it 50 cents. We're going to call it FIDI, okay? Now, at $5, XRP will have a $320 billion market cap, which would put it at today's prices roughly Ethereum's market cap. XRP is not Ethereum. Ethereum is the computer of the blockchain. Smart contracts, DeFi, you name it. XRP is going to be a Goliath in one day. Now, when you hear somebody say it's going to go to $100, that's a 200x. That gives it a $6 trillion market cap. We have a $2.3 trillion market cap for all of crypto so far. And my target is 10 trillion for the end of the bull run, 9 to 10 trillion. Okay? XRP is not going to be 2/3 of the market cap of crypto. A realistic target is $5. And when I say realistic, that's bullishly realistic. That's if they get the T-bills. That's if they get the XRP USD. That's if they get the CBDCs around the world. That's if they get the court case closed against the SEC. And remember, when that court case closes, I'm expecting XRP to go to $1. So at $1, I'm talking about it doing a 5x. Again, I'm talking about Solana doing a 6 or 7x. So I'm not being overly optimistic. I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. And if we do see a 4x on the total market cap of crypto, then is it reasonable to say that XRP could do a 5x? Yes. Is it realistic that XRP could do a 200x? Absolutely not. So don't listen to these people. They do not know what they are talking about, and all they are trying to do is get you to pump their bags. If they've got 500,000 people following them and they say to you, go and buy XRP, it's going to go to the moon. Even if 10,000 people go and buy $1,000 each of XRP, that's a big buy. That does pump the bags. So don't think that they're doing it for the sake of you. They don't care about you. They don't know who you are. They don't want to know who you are. You are just their... They're not even... You're not even their customers. You are their exit liquidity. That's what you are. And there are... Oh, don't get me wrong. Not every crypto... I am not holier than thou. I'm saying some of these ones that I see from time to time on X that only talk about one coin, that only pump one coin, these maxis, they only care about their own bags. They're not in it for the tech. I don't believe they are. Now, Kujira has dropped 40% after the foundation gets liquidated. Now, this is fun. It's not fun for the people holding Kujira, and it's not fun for people who have been holding the other token that went to the pot yesterday, which is Astroport. So I'm going to show you some of them in a minute. We are the scapegoat for them, Drop Dead. You are indeed the scapegoat. And one of the problems is, if we say to you, I think the end of the bull run is going to be November 2025, and then the end of the bull run comes and we peak in April, and then we don't have a second top in November, then it looks like I've told you that the end of the bull run is November, so I can get out in April. And that's the problem. The timing of telling you when things are going to happen is based on history, not based on numbers I've made up. 18 months after the halving is when we should get the all-time high. However, in the last bull run, we had an April top and a November top. And in my video, I've given you a reason why we might see a double top. We might see another April, and then we might see another November. But I've also said this could be the end of the bull run. This could be it. If enough institutional money comes in to Bitcoin, how on earth is it going to go down 60%? Because every time somebody goes to sell, the ETFs will just buy it, and it will constantly keep the price up. Can it retrace 30, 40%? Yes, of course it can. If it goes to $1 million a Bitcoin, do you think the ETFs are going to sell? Yes, they are. But none of those things are going to happen. We're not going to go to $1 million, so the ETFs probably won't sell. We've already seen they've got diamond hands. They're not selling, they're buying. So be careful. And this is why I was saying I might not sell my Bitcoin. Be careful, because I always expect a 60% retracement on Bitcoin. If we go to $200,000, I expect us to come back to 80. It might not happen this time. I might sell at, let's say it gets to $100,000. I might sell at $100,000 to buy back in at 40. We might only come back to 70. I don't know. And the more that these ETFs buy, the less likelihood I think we've got of actually doing a 60% retracement. And diminishing returns, which means the price going up 10x, 5x, 2x, 1x, those diminishing returns to the upside also apply to the downside. And maybe we only do a 35% retracement this time on Bitcoin. Who knows? Now, Kujira, the team, has been wrecked. And again, this can happen in crypto. The native token Kuji is plummeting after the foundation was liquidating on its leverage liquidity positions. The token is down 42% on the day, and the chain TVL is down 22% to $38 million in the past 48 hours. Do you remember why I say I don't like to look at low cap coins? Is they are fraught with problems. Not all of them, admittedly, but this happens more often than not. The foundation attributes the liquidations to poor timing. Poor timing, of course it's poor timing, as their leverage deployments coincided with exploits, socially engineered attacks and fallouts within the ecosystem. Again, they were attacked by social media influencers. And again, they have no morals. You are their exit liquidity, and they shorted the balls off Kujira and forced it through the ground, probably making an absolute fortune in the process. Told all of their followers to do the same thing, and Kujira got liquidated and wrecked. And what they were doing is they were trying, I believe they moved blockchain. I think they moved from Luna to another chain, which it doesn't say in here. And then as soon as they arrived on the other chain, I think it got attacked. So anyway, let's go and look at the chart of this, because again, it might look really appealing to go and buy this token now. Okay, it might look super appealing to go and buy this token, because we always say when a token is in the kill zone, as we call it, this is the time to buy. Now, it was on the 4th of March, April, May, June, July, August, 5 months ago, it was at $4.95. It's now at 37 cents. I'm never going to tell you to go and pick up a coin. We talk about emotional trading, don't we? And I say, you know, let's say Vitalik broke his leg and had to go to hospital for 2 months and be in a cast. I don't know. And the price of Ethereum went down to $2,300 or $2,100. Has the blockchain been fundamentally affected by that broken leg? No, it hasn't. Therefore, it's an emotional reaction to a situation. Therefore, it's a good time to buy Ethereum. Or Charles. Charles has a shave and Cardano goes to 15 cents. You go and buy it. No fundamental change to Cardano. When a chain gets hacked and the DAO and the team behind it gets liquidated and it's due to a vulnerability, this could very well be the end of this project, because this can just keep going down. Maybe not to minus points, but this could keep going down. I would not recommend trading this token or the other one, which also moved, which is this one, Astroport. Again, the chart looks very similar, doesn't it? We were all the way up here at 35 cents in January. We've come all the way down here to 3 cents, which is pretty much the bottom of the chart. Okay, no, that's the wrong line. Give me a minute. There we go. So we've come down to here, which is the lowest price it's been at. It bounced off this. It's found some level of support. It's also been compromised. The wallet with the Astro in has been frozen, and yes, the funds are kind of locked. But again, I'm never going to tell you to buy these tokens. Don't go near Astro. Don't go near Kujira. It's not financial advice. If you go and buy it and you do a 10x, all play to you. But these are fundamentally damaged tokens, in my opinion. Now, if Astroport and Kujira issue a layer, not a layer 2, a version 2 of the token, that's different. Maybe they will have more control over it. Maybe it's a different contract, whatever it might be. Then yes, look at the project again. But for me, don't touch any of these 2 tokens with a barge pole. Not financial advice, and it's too late to short them both because they are both massively down on their prices. Okay, let us move on. Emotions run wild. Convex Finance coin website looks dodgy, but why is it moving well on Little News? Smaller cap coins can move really quickly. We'll have a look at it in a minute. Now, another one, and again, I wasn't trying to turn this show into a FUD show. That's not what I'm about. But I'm also not going to ignore things that can affect you. DeFi protocol Convergent has been hacked. The token plunges 99% on curve. Again, another reason why I don't like too many micro cap coins in your portfolio. Yes, go and have, you should treat micro caps maybe a little bit better than a meme coin. But if you've got a project that's worth less than $100 million or $60 or $70 million, you should be putting in a few dollars, but fractions of your portfolio. Because I've given you 3 examples in the last 48 hours of these types of lower cap projects that have been hacked. The exploiter created 58 million of the CVG token and then swapped it for $200,000 worth of wrapped ETH and then sent it to Tornado Cash. Again, I know these people who scream freedom and they want complete autonomy from the government. I get all of that. However, there is a balance in life, and the reason we have governments is to stop anarchy and chaos, and their job is to stop anarchy and chaos. And because of that, I do believe genuinely that Tornado Cash should be removed from existence. I do not think you should be allowed to move money anonymously in that sense. Okay? I don't agree with it, and I have never really agreed with it. It's not sat well with me. It's a little bit like you don't want a government being able to seize your money. That's why you have ledgers. That's why you have non-custodial wallets. Okay, that gives you a level of autonomy over your government. That's one thing. It's a totally different thing taking $200,000 of your money via a hack, running it through a system, washing it, and then it comes out the other end and you'll never see it again. Okay? It's wrong and it's immoral, and I do not care for people who want decentralization to this point. It is wrong. And there is a lovely hole. I do believe these are the holes that are built to take the rubbish out of water, I believe. So, Convergence, a curve-based yield-enhancing protocol, was exploited on Thursday, sending its tokens price to zero. The attacker created 58 million using a vulnerability in the code base and swapped for, we know about that. Blockchain data on Ethersun shows attacker's address converted the funds into ETH and then sent them to Tornado Cash, caused $210,000 in loss. CVG holders, however, suffered additional damage as the token's 17 million fully diluted market cap nosedive. Now, I do believe I have the chart of this. No, I don't have the chart of this. Did I not bring it up? I thought I got the token to show you. What's the question here? 1 billion plus market caps are a safer play for this bull run. I think so. I think so, yeah. And the reason is that it's like, yeah, it's not there. I think that's why I found it. Okay, it's probably too small. I think the key is, if you compare it to a football season, 38 matches, Man City go out and lose the first 6 or 7 matches. They play an attacking football, they get caught on the break, and they've lost the first 6 games on the trot. They know as long as they win the last 20 games of the season, they've won the league. Okay? We are now entering into the last 10 games of the season. Okay? We want 10 1-0 wins. Okay, we don't want to go out and beat Bournemouth 5-0. You know, we don't want to smash the Aussies in 2 days at cricket with an innings and 200 runs victory. We don't want to win 64-0 against South Africa in the final of the Rugby World Cup. What we want to do is we want to beat them by a wicket. We want to score the odd goal in 3. We want to beat them by 1 drop kick or 1 try, because you need to tighten up your portfolio at the end of a bull run. At the end, before you get into the end of the bull run. And for me, I don't have that many risky plays. I could probably count on one hand the risky plays I've got. I bought some Swarm, which I think is an absolute steal. Swarm token, I think I got at 50 something cents. I bought Near, that's not risky. I bought Ondo recently, that's not risky. I've got my Ethereum, my Solana staked, my Cardano staked. I'm sitting on my XRP, my Link. These are all fairly big projects, and I don't care for a 50x. If I do a 10x from here on my portfolio, actually no I won't. If I do a 5x on here from my portfolio, then I am set up forever. And I can have Chinese takeaway and cigars in the morning every single day of the week. The point is, if you're in a different situation and you want to get to the end of this bull run and make an absolute fortune, and you come in too late, then what you probably need to consider is the fact that you're going to have to need another bull run. It's very rare that you make life-changing wealth in one bull run. There are people that have done it, of course there are, but just don't try and squeeze out so much in one bull run when you can go after it in another bull run. So let's say you started this bull run with $1,000. If you've managed to turn that into $20,000 by the end of this bull run, you've done exceptionally well. Okay? If you then put that to one side for a year and a half until the markets retrace and you put that $20,000 back in, you could turn that into $120,000 in the next bull run. So you've turned your $1,000 into $120,000 and you've done it in about 6 years. You're not going to get that anywhere else. And that's the key. It's very difficult on your first strike to hit a 6. It's nearly impossible, but people do it, and those odd exceptions are held up as some kind of idols, but that's not reality. Reality is you have to grind for, let's call it 8 years. You have to grind for 8 years to get your life-changing wealth. It doesn't happen overnight. Think of this. I started in 2016. So next year will be 2025. And if I sell at what I think I'm going to sell at, I will have turned a very small amount of money into an awful lot of money in the bull run. That sounds like all the money went out the window. It will be difficult to finance projects through, maybe things can turn around. I think the key is, if you're in RWA, real world assets, if you're in AI, artificial intelligence, if you're in DeepIn, decentralized physical infrastructure networks, these are all the buzzwords. They're going to get investment and they're going to go on to do great things. If you've got a partnership with BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Barclays, HSBC, if you've got those kind of partnerships, you're going to do exceptionally well. And for me, that's the key, is you can go and buy every single token in the top 100 this cycle. You could put $1,000 in. No, let's put $100 into every top 100 token. You could put $10,000 in, and you should come out with $50,000. You should 5x from here. So by picking and choosing your crypto, you should be trying to do more than a 5x. And the problem is doing the research. And this is why I say you should have about 10 or 20 projects in your portfolio. Because if you've got 50 to 100, how do you keep up on everything? You know, I know we've mentioned CVG, we've mentioned Kajira, we've mentioned Astroport. Those are the ones that have been hacked today and yesterday. But what about the ones that get hacked next week and the week after? You've got to have enough tokens to be diversified, but you don't want so many that you don't hear the bad news and your token goes to zero. Last article then, and we're going to have a look at convex. I think we've looked at it before. So the US, UK accelerate quantum computing programs after China breakthrough. China's room temperature time crystals could radically affect the timeline for the arrival of useful quantum computers. And I know somebody in our Telegram group, they asked about quantum AI projects that they could invest in, and I don't really know that many of them. The ramping up efforts to advance quantum computing in the West after scientists in China observed what appears to be the world's first room temperature time crystals. A team of physicists hailed primarily from Tsinghua University in China, with contributions from scientists in Denmark and Austria, published peer-reviewed, well, if it was time crystals, wouldn't it be best off going to Switzerland? Peer-reviewed research on July the 2nd detailing the creation and observation of room temperature time crystals. Are they actually going to tell us what they are? Time crystals are a unique state of matter originally proposed by Frank Wilczek in 2012. They work similar to other crystals such as snowflakes or diamonds, which are created when specific molecules from lattice-like bonds that repeat through space. In time crystals, however, the molecules bond in time. Instead of locking into a crystalline structure that repeats, a time crystal's molecules flicker back and forth between different configurations like a GIF on a loop. Very interesting. This breakthrough has demonstrated the potential for quantum computers to explore exotic states of matter and set the stage for the convergence of quantum tech and time crystals. Now, I don't know if you've ever looked into mathematics. It is the biggest con you've ever heard. They have numbers which are made up, and these made up numbers, when they are put into calculations, make things work. They just make things up. And this sounds an awful lot like exotic, I don't know what they're called, exotic numbers. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a long time. It's over 30 years since I studied mathematics. In 2024, the team appears to have created time crystals at room temperature. This theoretically allows time crystal tech to be employed in a non-lab equipment and could serve as a massive accelerator for the development of useful quantum computers. Now, again, let's keep going down. UK government has announced plans to invest $127 million in the development of 5 quantum computing research hubs led by Oxford Uni. On the same day, the Massachusetts Institute of Tech announced a multi-billion-dollar partnership with the University of Copenhagen to share research and co-develop quantum computing. So there you go. So quantum computing is around the corner. It is very exciting to look at quantum computing. It has fascinated me. Let me have a little look at what comments are in chat. You're telling me I have X in this bull run. By next bull run, I should have 1 billion. I have 20 coins. If you can, think of it this way: if you can 10x in this bull run, and then you 5x in the next bull run, and bearing in mind we have diminishing returns, then yes, you could. Experiences, I would say. I think so. I mean, I think one of the things to bear in mind with a lot of things to do with crypto is it's emerging tech. And I keep saying this to you, but a lot of these projects that are in the top 100 are not going to be here in 5 years' time. They are going to go bust. And they're not going to go bust because they've been hacked. They're going to go bust simply because the project failed. In life, I think it's 97% of businesses go out of business within the first 2 years. In crypto, we have that much VC money that they have runways for 5 years. 97% of these crypto projects outside probably the top 20 are going to go bust, and they're going to become zombie chains, and eventually they'll run out of money and they'll close down. And what you're going to see in the very near future is mergers and chains merging. You're going to see projects moving from the dead chains to the active chains. You're going to see projects moving possibly their entire blockchain ecosystem onto other chains. It's the future. The future is not 50 different blockchains all working independently. The AG layer from Polygon is creating, I say it every week, it's creating a system whereby you can have sovereign chains that control themselves, but the liquidity is pooled. If you have a chain with no money on it, it is not going to do very well. I made a video this week, in fact, which I covered on here, about chain abstraction, which is basically like a wallet that allows you to transact across all the different blockchains, all the EVMs and Solana and Smart Chain. It allows you to trade and move your funds across all these different chains. That's the future. But at some point, some of these chains are just going to die. Right, what was this thing I was looking at? Convex Finance. It's 12:03 already. We've looked at this. I'm sure we've looked at this before. Although they've changed the website. This is a nicer website. Convex Finance, so it's got a TVL of 1.3 billion. Platform revenue 262 million, very nice. Treasury 35 million. I mean, some of these pools are a little bit on the excessive side. 31% APR. So it's on top of curve. It adds boosted yields. Again, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be quite happy with this project, but again, it's not gonna jump to the top of my list. So it's got 217. It doesn't have a lot in the treasury, and again, it's called Convex. Its token is called CVX, and of its $31.6 million in the treasury, that's made up of $30.1 million of its own token. So it only actually has $1.5 million of other tokens in its treasury. So again, we can look at FTX. FTX had a huge chunk of its reserves held in FTX. The problem is that if that coin goes to zero, there's no treasury, there's no money, there's nothing. So I wouldn't touch this. That's just my finger in the air decision on this token. I wouldn't touch it. If the coin goes to zero, there's no treasury funds, there's nothing to support the team. The APRs look very good, but again, personally, anything that's paying 38 and 36%, I wouldn't touch. That's just my opinion. I'm getting 15% on my Solana, and that's by taking a gamble. I am not taking a gamble on my Ethereum. My Ethereum pays 3%. My Matic pays 4%. My ADA pays 2.7%. Emissions level inflation, so I'm just staking them to hold my value. But I wouldn't touch this. I mean, again, in the bull run, all of these projects are going to do it exceptionally well, but not for me. Not for me. Now, I think that is the end of the show. It is 12:06. Is Matic a 10x? I certainly wish it was, but it doesn't seem to be moving. Matic is down here. It's probably is it still in the top 20? Yeah, no, it's 21st. Is it a 10x from 4.8 billion? I've always said it'll go to $5. So that is technically a 10x from where we are now. But again, Litecoin, could Litecoin see $200 or $300 in the bull run? Possibly. Could Near see maybe $40? Probably. Chainlink, I think, could get somewhere near $80 to $100. What are the coins? Cardano, I think I've set a price of $3 to $5 for Cardano. What's that? That's just under a 10x, maybe 9x, 10x. Ton, I think, is overvalued. Doge, can't stand it. XRP, $3 to $5, $5 to $7, depending on the XRP SEC case. Solana with the ETF, $800 to $1,000. BNB, I don't think it's going to do more than $2,500. If that, maybe $2,000, $1,500. Ethereum with the ETF could break 5 figures. Hopefully Bitcoin gets somewhere above $130,000. I still think it's going to go to 240,000, but if it takes so much time, it's not going to break $120,000. So there's my targets. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming. I'm going to go to the shop in this baking heat. It is very hot. Thank you, everybody. I'm not streaming tomorrow. Remember, I'm probably going to start streaming again on Saturdays in September when it cools down. It's just too hot. I'm really tired, and I need the weekends off. I am going to make videos in the mornings. Still, Saturday and Sunday, I'll still make videos. But I won't be streaming Saturday and Sunday. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your champers wherever you are. Celebrate the weekend. You've got another 2 days on the planet. See you all on Monday, and have a great weekend. Take care. Oh, and don't forget, it's Kishan's son's birthday today, and I don't think Kishan's in chat. So Kishan, if you are out there, happy birthday to your son.